What's happening, YouTube? What's going on? And so, my name is Albert. The thumbnail. Why this 60-year-old considers happiness to be a festering disease? I'll get straight to it. First, we all know that money won't do it. Okay, it's necessary. It's a prerequisite to life. Okay, we have to work. Okay, but money itself won't do it, man. You've heard it and you've seen it. Go ahead, make your first million, then you want two, and then you want three, and it'll continue. Go ahead, wait till you graduate. Where's the happiness? Go ahead and start that YouTube channel and wait till it becomes successful. Get your first million subscribers. Wait for that promotion. Wait for that new job to be happy. Wait for your girlfriend to be happy, and then wait till you get engaged to her to be happy, and then wait to marry her to be happy. Go ahead. And so we know this, which means that while we know this, we're still chasing it, and that's why I consider it a disease. Because it festers, and we keep chasing it. If you're religious, happiness is in heaven with Jesus, huh? Which means that you have to die first to get there. So if you're 30 years old and your destiny is to live to 80, that's 50 years of waiting. And so what happens here is this perpetual chase to be, and it's always over there. Happiness is always over there. And how did this happen? I'm going to share exactly why. Somewhere along the line, 5 years old, 6 years old, we were already distributing that happiness naturally without describing it, without saying I'm happy. If you watch kids, they're playing and they're joyful, but they share sadness, all these emotions, but naturally. If you watch them, you'll see these emotions occurring naturally, but what happens? By 5, 6 years old, we get contaminated. And the contamination starts like this. When you grow up, you become that, and then be happy. You get married, you have children, you get dogs, and so the picture was at the beach with the wife and the children and the dogs running around. And so this means that the happiness that I already possessed was squashed and replaced with happiness at a distant future when this happens. And so now I'm screwed, bro. Oh, when I'm happy, you can see it. If you put your mind to it, you can remember clearly how you heard it young. And now you had to wait to be happy, and that these things had to happen in order for you to be happy. And then the marketing system helps along by saying, yes, embrace happiness. When you're happy, then I'm happy. Happiness is around the corner. Here's the 10 steps to happiness. And they bombard us with happiness. And so the happiness that we had, the happiness that was already there is gone, bro. And so that's the contamination. And now, why is this bad? Because this happiness that we chase, the festering of it over time produces depression, bro. That's why it's a disease, because a disease is something that festers, and it freaking rots. And if you take a look at what happens to someone who is expecting to be happy, and so let's say a girl, she sees a friend get married and not her, and she's waiting for her chance and it's not working out for her, then there's her depression. That's one, bro. I could continue forever with money. This guy made $1 million. This guy, his status, he's this, he's that. And I didn't make it in the music. Oh, I didn't go platinum. And so all this stuff, when it doesn't happen, depression is right there, man. And so this is the deal, man. We got to get back that natural happiness that doesn't require a description. That happiness that doesn't require me to say that I was happy. For instance, if you take a look at children, please learn from children, because children are the hallmark for you to get there. If you don't study children, it's going to be very difficult. But if you watch children, you'll see them automatically responding to life's events naturally without the need to say, oh, I'm happy, or I'm going to be happy, oh, and when I'm happy. They don't do that. We do that after 6, 7 years old when we're contaminated, bro. And so the exercise that I took on was to allow my emotions to kick in naturally without naming it, without saying anything. So, example, I see something that I like, or I run across, a friend that I haven't seen in 20 years. Oh my God, that feeling, natural does not need words, bro. I don't need to say, oh, I'm so happy to see you, when we're like, oh my God, and hugging each other. And so within life, good dinners, nice meals, or whatever, there's always that pleasure thing that goes on. And so the practice is that if I go to dinner and it's an amazing dinner, I respond, yeah. If it's not, then I go, oh, okay. But the response is the response. Verbal list, which means if it's no good, I'm not going to be like, oh, that was terrible. No. I let it be. I may pout a little bit, but I let it be without giving it a name, a description, or trying to make that instance a better one the next time. I don't say, oh no, I'll never come back here again. That was horrible. No, because that was the reality of the situation. So I let it be. And so this exercise here has brought me to such ecstasy because I'm always now responding naturally. I'm not waiting to be happy. And when you're happy, because you're supposed to be happy, and over there, which is such a horrible thing that the system has done to us, because happiness is overkill. It's way too much. The other thing is that I learned that the body cannot handle overwhelming happiness. We're not designed for prolonged happiness. That's why orgasms are short, man. We're not meant to, and so the body goes into shock when there's just too much. And when we want to prolong happiness and sustain it, it's damaging to the body. And you can take a look at it. When you get like high off of something, and when you come off it, you drop into such a depressive state because the body went above its means of that feeling. And so when you reach that heights of happiness, when you come down, it's freaking horrible, man. And so the same thing with general happiness, man. When there's just too much, the body can't take it. And so what's happening is that chasing happiness is causing more harm than any good, man. That's why I do not wish anyone any happiness, man. I wish them to feed off of life and go along with the flow of life without pushing to be happy. Don't worry, be happy, or just think happy or positive. That's terrible. And so practicing this allows me to be my innate self without me. Oh, you know what? Life is to be happy. That's a freaking horrible saying, man. Life is to be happy. No, the system, the marketing system out there has rubbed it into us that every single moment of our lives is supposed to be happy and jolly. And that's just not true, bro. And so I tell my friends, take a look at if what you thought will bring you happiness was so, and just be real with it. When this happened, did it? When this happened, because they're mind tricks. When I get that's a mind trick. It's happening in the mind. But when it actually happens, it's kind of gone in a sense where you feel that happiness because you were supposed to feel it momentarily. But we are tricked into thinking that the happiness is supposed to last forever, and it doesn't. And so all the emotions, sadness, happiness, they're there for a reason. But we don't allow them to be there for their dedicated reason. So I tell people, when you're sad, just be sad. Don't try to be happy when you're sad, because the body is already working within the sadness to get rid of it. The body knows what to do, but we step on it. Oh, don't worry. Things could have been worse. That's also horrible. Things could have been worse. To make yourself feel better, you say things could have been worse. Now you're comparing your situation with another situation that's worse to feel better. And that's horrible, because what has happened to you has happened to you. So allow the body to deal with what has happened to you and leave it alone and watch it go away in a day, maybe. For me, whenever I go through something, it's gone in a day or two. I've been through some stuff, man. You too. We all do. But mine are short-lived. You know why? Because I'm not stepping on those times where I feel gloomy, sad, or there's a problem in my life, and this problem has struck me, and I'm shaking, maybe can't sleep. In a day or two, bro, I'm sleeping, bro. No problem sleeping. You know why? Because I did not step on it with don't worry about it and then overthinking, do this and then do that. You need to be happy and just forget about it. And then to arrive at that place is actually making things worse. So a happiness is this festering agent that screws up everything, bro. If your relationships are supposed to be happy, right there, you're screwing it up. Because relationships are just not like that. And so if you take the relationship as it really is through its waves, then you'll see. And you'll be able to go through the waves a lot easier than trying to fix it, because it's even worse when, let's say, the girl is not feeling all dandy. And here you are screwing things up, trying to pry her into being happy and trying to pop her out of it instead of letting her be. Girls are closer to what I'm talking about. Kids are there. Now, the best exercise that I could share is please don't try to look at kids as these infantile kids that don't know anything. Try to see them as knowing 100,000 times more than you, because they are operating within their innate self. They're not contaminated with the value system, with right and wrong, with good and bad, with comparisons that they got this and I don't have that. I gave a kid a freaking expensive toy to play with. It was so expensive. And you know what she did? She was playing with a straw, bro. That's what she wanted to play with, bro. And so I saw that and I said, she doesn't have a value system. But when we develop a value system, depending on what you get will determine your happiness. Oh, I'm not happy because I didn't get what I expected to get, and there it is. And enough of that, when you expect to get something and you don't get it, that bottles up, bottles up, bottles up, bottles up. And then next thing you know, life is not on my side. God hates me. Why me? Why me? And all that stuff that takes place is actually taking place because the happiness is there to make sure that you feel that way. If you want to be miserable, man, chase happiness. Go ahead, chase it. Now, if you take a real good look at life, if we just worked at our passion, the passion itself, we will get what we will get out of it. I didn't have to. I was in the music business and I did very well for many years. And I did not need any mode to be happiness, to be successful, because I was talented enough to do good music, enough to sustain me in the music business for 30 plus years where I'm still living off the royalties. And now, if I take a look at all the times where I try to generate that I was the freaking arbiter of my life and that I was the one that was spinning the wheels. I wasn't spinning any wheels, bro. My talent brought me work. And that's it. Not that I plan to make this amount and then because I need to be happy and because of this. None of that, bro. If I left it alone, I would have made what I've made. In other words, if you are set, let's say, in your mind to make $1 million, you are freaking shortchanging yourself, because you probably can make an easy 2 if you just put in the work without deciding a calculated number of where you want to be, of where you want to reach. And so with your natural amount of work applied to whatever it is that you do, you'll freaking get down naturally, bro. I do that with exercise, bro, and I have absolutely no struggle setting up and doing exercise. Why? Because the prospect of a beginning and an end to achieve, none of that is there while I'm exercising. I'm just moving my body, man. And as a 60-year-old, I moved my body as I could. And that's it. It's finished without a prospect. And so this prospect to be happy, and when you're happy and you deserve to be happy, and it's Friday to be happy, oh, it's Saturday to be happy, and you know what? Just be happy are freaking killers, man. It's freaking festering like a disease slowly, 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 slowly. And then comes that time, which explains why depression is so huge, is because the happiness is just as huge. We're trying to reach way too much of it without knowing that the body can't handle it. And since it can't handle it, we freaking end up where we wish we weren't. We wish we weren't there, bro. And so the best place to end up here where I am, where I'm coasting with life, is to really see clearly what happiness is actually doing. The chase of it, when and how it's always over there. We can't even be happy now because there's always something to be happy about. It has to be about something. So we just can't be. We just can't coast. It has to be always about. And the happiness is always accompanied with a shock value. Oh, you know what happened to me? Oh, I'm going here. Oh, I'm going there. So that we can build up this thing because we put it into practice always to try to make it out to have such wonderful lives. Look at social media is doing that freaking perfectly, man. Painting a picture. Oh, the pictures look so wonderful, bro. But the trip wasn't anything like the pictures. The actual trip has nothing to do with the pictures, bro. But you put words, what a great time we had, and it was nothing like it, bro. And so what's happening is that we're putting it forward with words, with ideas that we're happy. And then what happens, you go home and you're like, oh man, is this what life is all about? So man, cut it out. But there's a genuine happiness that you can get if you allow it to sprout naturally without you wanting to be happy. If you allow that natural, I'm gonna call it ecstasy, to kick in, oh my God, the slightest thing will make you yay. The slightest thing, because there'll be no comparison, man. You have to look up the freaking harms of comparison to how, oh my God, comparison is so freaking dangerous and we do it all the time, and that causes more of the trouble, bro. Oh my God, the comparison, he's better looking. That's another one, bro. Whoever thinks they're ugly, bro, there's your freaking depression already written for you, bro. Because having those type of looks and not getting a girl, feeling undesirable will bring you, that'll bring you to the bottom, bro. You don't have to, because you'll find your place, bro. And that place is this general freaking authentic place of ecstasy, I'm going to call it. Now, I said happiness many times in the video, and I don't want to. I'm saying ecstasy, and I don't want to because I do not want to describe anything, but I have to because I'm making a video. But this here that I'm talking about is nonverbal. All of it. If I could take back every word right now, I'll take it all back, because the natural being can flow and ride with life in such a way where it just goes through the waves, bro. It's almost like an ocean. An ocean has all kinds of stuff going on, but it's still the ocean. And I don't think one wave is feeling stronger than the other one, or the little wave is weaker than the other one. It's just this whole freaking orchestration of a whole bunch of things happening at once within the same pool of water. And so we're like that too. And so there's no struggle there, and there won't be any struggle here because there's nothing to struggle against, because I'm not trying to reach for happiness anymore. If I want to struggle, all I have to do is reach for happiness, and I'll get all the trouble right there will be handed to me, bro. And so there's no more. And so anyway, this video comes to a close, and I hope you got something out of it. And until the next one, catch ya.